somebody like just points out something about another person and you've never noticed it, but then after they point it out, it's all you can think about.
Yeah.
So somebody pointed out something that I did, and it's that I like moan after like I end sentences sometimes, and I'm like hyper aware of it, and I feel like I changed my speech pattern because apparently I was like, yeah, like, okay, ask me a question.
Isaiah, what'd you wear yesterday?
Like some pants.
That's fucking crazy.
Some pants.
Oh,
Or then I also get called out on vocal fry a lot.
What is vocal fry?
Vocal fry is when you talk like this.
Oh.
And I think it's when I'm like, when I'm trying to talk quiet, it comes on a lot.
Fuck! That's crazy.
No, okay, wait. Why'd I open up about that? Why'd I open up about that?
I'm gonna forget about it. I'm gonna be truthful.
Thank God.
Because like I had someone says something to me like that at work. It was either I hate that they said this. It was one they either said that they can hear me breathe.
I would have stopped breathing.
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I was self-conscious the rest of the day. It was that, or I can't remember, or I think they did say that I like moaned after I said something one time.
Yeah.
And
you know what Sam said to me once?
Oh God, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Okay. So like, we were in a Discord call. Him, Jacob, and I.
What era Sam is this?
This was the last time I spoke to him, actually. I want to say it was either 2023 or 2024. Okay, I can't really remember too clearly. Yeah. Recently enough, like since he moved away and did all that.
Yeah, were you guys playing League?
Yeah, like we played like 2 games or something. And, you know, because I'm a silly, goofy little goober, I turn on my camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was showing him like my secretary walk or something like that. And at first he complimented me. It started off strong. He was like, oh, like, man, like, what, are you hitting the gym? I'm like, no. And then after that, he was like, oh, okay, so I do my secretary walk, you know, we're talking, and then I do like a normal walk back because I was just walking back to my chair. And he was like, huh, you still walk like you have no collagen below your knees.
It's like the most autistic thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, it resonated with me, obviously, because 2 years later, I still think about him saying that. But, like, I would get up and do my walk right now, but now I can't.
Do you know something? So Christian's sister, so do you know how, like, Sam moved and he, like, started his card store or whatever?
Oh, did he actually start it?
I don't think it's going on anymore. But he tells me how he goes to this one card store in London. That's, like, his, like, turf. Christian's, like, sister is, like, dating the owners, like, dating the owner of that store now.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out a way that we can fuck with Sam. We don't know how yet, but somehow we want to communicate a message to Sam that only that he can clue it back to us, but it comes from the owner. You know, we're brainstorming.
Maybe he walks in. We have a special discount for autistic white men. Oh, actually, that would be for the entire store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like you get what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah. We make him scared to chill down his spine.
Yeah, like.
But what's the message you're trying to convey?
I don't know. I said I got a little mean. I said I never want to walk into the store again. Like I want it to be so spooked that he has to either call us or the police get involved. I don't know what though.
What do you do to you?
Nothing. I just want to fuck with him. I miss him.
You know when you just miss your bro and you want to fuck with him and
are you kidding me? When Sam was TL and I was teaching him, I'm not gonna lie, me and Sam, we got close. Like,
yeah. Did you guys like braid each other's pubes?
No.
Oh. So were you that close, really?
No. You never braided my pubes.
I mean, I would. We can pause this. No, I probably couldn't, if I'm being truthful. Like, you know, morals aside, I probably wouldn't have the technique to braid your pubes.
I'm trying to like I can't figure out if I should be like offended or like grateful.
Well, I wouldn't have the technique to braid anybody's pubes, let alone yours.
Why?
I don't know how to say it in a way that's making it sound like I'm singling you out. I'm not singling you out. I'm just saying I don't know how to braid pubes. But I think just my voice just naturally makes it sound like I'm attacking you personally. But no, in this moment with your pubes are probably okay. We should move on.
Hey guys, welcome to Y.A.P.
No.
Are we opening with that? I think we should open with that. I think that's our open.
Fine. Well, why don't you tell them what we're talking about today?
We're gonna be talking about kind of human connection in this new online landscape.
Yeah. Why? Is it because we're gonna tie our pubes together like on Avatar?
That is what they do. That is what they do.
Well, no, they tie their hair, but you know, some of them probably tie their pubes. The freaky ones. Freaky ones.
That's gonna be in the next movie.
Could you imagine? I mean, what if it was like,
we would have to take him to court? Because this is the proof
oh my
right
god,
here.
wait.
This is the proof right here.
Wait, can we copyright that?
Yeah.
How do we copyright tying pubes together? Do you think people have done that? People have probably done that.
I'm sure there's a website.
I feel like it's like, yeah, like if you can imagine it, somebody's probably done it. Somebody's probably tied their pubes together. But then if I did
For
do that,
sure.
I feel like that's something you take to the grave. Because there are some things that, like, okay, I feel like there are
Like, what do you
some
mean take
things
to the grave? Like, you don't talk about it?
you don't talk about it. You
Oh,
don't
for
talk
sure.
to anybody about it. Because I feel like there's so many things where people share, and don't get me wrong, we've all done gross shit. We're humans.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you don't tell people you did that. Do you get what I mean? Like, have you ever heard somebody say something and it's like, well,
No, like, I'm
low
not gonna...
key, I would do that, but you just shouldn't have told people that.
It's like one of those things where, like, someone tells you and you're sitting beside them and then you just kind of, like, get up after. You just yeah.
Oh my god, that happened to me one time. But not because I said anything, like, gross. I said something political that I don't think was even far-fetched or rude. But then everyone just walked away from me. I'm not even joking. I was at a party.
That probably fucked
I was at a
you
party
up,
and we were drinking and they were like saying some very political hot takes. And I was like, actually, guys, and I was very soft. I was like,
yeah,
I don't fully agree with that statement.
that's crazy. Good for you.
And then they like all looked at me and we were on a balcony because they were like smoking.
Yeah.
I wasn't smoking. And then they just like all walked back inside. Like they kind of looked at me for a second and they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna head back in for a drink. And like one after another, like no words, they just all kept like dipping.
Oh,
And I just kind of sat there and I was like, well, I mean,
so, you know what? There's sometimes where, like, I haven't had that happen to me, but there are sometimes where, like, you know, I guess you could say I'm the political guy where I like make a comment about like politics, and then I'm just kind of like, oh, that, like, you know, buzzkilled, like that killed the vibe.
yeah,
You know, like, and that, like,
it killed your human connection.
yeah. Oh, Jesus.
We gotta segue at some point.
Yeah. So,
So killing human connection. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it's like to connect with people in 2025. I mean, I think when I'm thinking about connection, I'm thinking mostly about like dating relationships, but I guess there is some like aspects of friendship in there too.
I would tell you in everything. I would say, like, if we even want to get a little crazy,
Yeah.
like, I would tie in just like relationships as a whole, like broad. Like, I'm talking that can be like from a partner standpoint, friendship, or even like family.
Yeah. I mean, I think human connection, if we're just talking about like friends and families, like not the romantic side of things, I feel like it's more abundant, but it's less meaningful. Because, for example, I think like I have friends that are like in the US and different countries. Like my brother lives in New Zealand, and I'm able to still like keep in touch with them because of all these like social media platforms and stuff like that. But it's not as meaningful.
I was about to say, I feel like that's not like true.
Yeah, like it's not like
Connection.
true connection. Because, for example, with my brother, and I'm okay speaking about this, like before he left home, I think when he left Canada, I was like 17 or 18, something like that. And at that age, fuck everybody. Like when you're 18, you do not want anybody's business. Like, he would like tell me to clean the bathroom, and I'd be like, I hope you die. Like, because you know you're 18, you're edgy. So we didn't have like a great relationship. And then he like left for New Zealand, obviously, and like he's still my brother, so like we would keep in touch, but it wasn't like that like authentic. But then when he came back, you know, we both were older at this point, and I was like, oh wait, like I actually kind of vibe with you. Like you're actually kind of chill.
Yeah.
And I think we did develop that authentic connection, but then he left again, and now it's still like, hey, how's everything with you? Good. How's everything with you? You know, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of speaks to like any long distance relationship, whether it be romantic, family, friendship.
Yeah, because like my stance on that is like I kind of agree with you where like it's not actual human connection, and therefore like it's not like I have a hard time with it. Like I'm not gonna like protest it or anything like that. But it's like it's not my preferred method of, I guess, like having like a connection or like a relationship with
Mhm.
someone.
It's tying your pubes to somebody else's.
Just uh, but what I was gonna say is, like, in one sense, I'm also grateful that like we do have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, it's, to me, like, this topic's a very double-edged sword in terms of like online
Mhm.
space and being able to like communicate with each other, but then also like, I guess, build a relationship and form that connection with someone.
Mm,
In one sense, I'm like, oh, okay, like I think that it's harming general human connection. Like, I think it's
yeah.
decreased, like, in terms of just like abundance of like people connecting with one another. But then in another when I say that, I mean meaningful connection.
Yeah.
um
Well,
I,
I mean, I even just like sorry to cut you off. Like in
no,
your
you're
day
good.
to day, like I'm thinking about all the people, and I don't know why this pisses me off so much, but people that are just like always on their phones 24/7. And don't get me wrong, like your little TikTok doom scroll in bed. I'm not even talking about you. I'm
Hmm.
talking about it's like you're crossing a busy intersection and you're looking down at your phone. Like
Yeah.
when you actually take time, without sounding like too much of a zoomer here, take time the next time you go out to like the mall and look at how many people aren't like looking around or like they're just literally looking at their phone.
It drives me crazy. It
And
drives
I'm
me because
like,
I noticed that as well.
yeah,
And like, I, to be honest, I was bad at that. I
yeah.
was like, and but I think I kind of like I I'm
Hmm.
trying to get, and no way am I
Yeah.
perfect.
Now, personally, if I walk across the street or if I walk past somebody that I know, but I want to pretend like I don't know you, you might see me look at my phone as I walk past you.
I'd say
You know what?
that's an escape mechanism. That ain't
Yeah.
nothing.
You
That, you
might
know.
see me do that before you call
Yeah,
me a
yeah, yeah. I
hypocrite.
think that's
But
fair game.
I'm like, the amount of people, okay, if I'm at like a stop sign and there's a pedestrian on their phone,
Hmm.
I'm like, what if I just pressed on the gas right now? You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't know.
That's crazy.
Well, no, it's like,
That's
but
crazy.
it's dangerous. Like, it's
No,
genuinely
I
dangerous
think
to
so.
like, and I don't know. I'm also like, people are always, I think it's just a very lonely generation. Gen Z is like a lonely generation
Yeah,
where it's like there's much more isolation and like, fuck, the pandemic ruined everybody's life. But like, you
yeah.
know, now,
It's weird though with the pandemic, because I
mhm,
feel like, yes, in one sense, like I feel like a lot of us took like two steps backwards in terms of our social interaction skills. Like,
yeah.
I think we all kind of became like illiterate in a sense in terms of how to interact with each other.
Ooh.
I'm just being so for real. But then in another sense, I think about like during our time during COVID, it's like we found other methods. Like, for example, like I remember like people would like do like board game nights online, or like, for example, like us, like our friend group, we did Among Us and stuff like that. And like I
Right.
think we haven't had a virtual session like that in a long time, which like it gets
Yeah.
replaced. But I think it's just interesting how that we still find substitutes, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah. But I think another kind of part that contributes into like human connection and the lack thereof is like just how busy it is for like all people. Like
you don't think we have enough
like
time?
I don't know. I just feel like okay, when I think about my personal life, like I do think I actually make a decent amount of time for
Mm-hmm.
social interaction,
Mm-hmm.
but like I could make more. I mean, one thing
Yeah.
that I feel like a lot of people are bad for just like always flaking on plans, like flaking on like real life hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the worst for, and you know this, like answering texts. Actually, you're worse than me.
I'm so awful at text.
But
I literally was thinking about it now before we started this podcast. So, one of my friends texted me like 2 days ago.
mhm,
I haven't responded, and I was one of those ones where I was like, it's like I read the text and I'm like, I'll respond to that later,
mm,
and then you know me, my brain's all over the fucking place. Like, and then I'll go
yeah,
do a task and then I'm gone.
I feel like for me, it's like it's more about how much effort it's going to take me to respond to your text and what I'm doing at that time. Because as like a non-negotiable, I'm not texting at work. Doesn't matter who you are. Like unless it's an emergency and I like
Yeah, I'm the
see it,
same.
like I'm not texting at work because quite truthfully, bitch, I'm fucking working.
Yeah.
Like I don't have time to like sit on my phone. Like if I worked at retail, it's one thing, but then the next part of it too is like then you get home and you're hungry because you haven't eaten all day. So then you go and like you want to make
Mm-hmm.
food,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look at your texts. You're tired as fuck. You're like, I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd rather like I don't know. I think texting is important to a lot of people, and I just don't get why.
Can I tell you
Like,
my,
yeah,
because I agree with you, because my gripe with texting, calling, anything to do with my cell phone,
hmm,
I don't like how people have access to me 24/7.
yeah.
I don't.
I think you're allowed to have those boundaries.
I don't. And like that's what I think is, but like in some sense I feel like there's like it's not like I'm the people I'm hanging out with, like you have to text me, but like I
But
think
we've all had people like that.
yeah, but I think there's also like a moral obligation where it's like you in order to like as we get older, it's everyone's time gets less for like friends and family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like you still want to keep that connection. Like you still want to show that person that like you're interested. And again,
Mhm.
this like coming from a friendship standpoint, you still want to show that they're interested and like you still want to actually like be
Mhm.
friends with them. But in one sense, you're just kind of like I don't want to text
Yeah.
right now.
But low key, like, I love casual friendships. Like, I think it's important to have, like,
How would you describe a casual friendship?
a casual friendship is like, we don't have to text all the time. I
Yeah,
could see you maybe once every week. I
base.
could see
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
once every month. I could see you once every
Mm-hmm.
year. And there's not this, like, animosity about it.
Those people are so important.
It is important
They're
because,
so
like,
important.
like I've been that person for other people when I was a teenager, and quite truthfully, I was really insecure.
Hmm.
But now, like,
I think that's just what every friendship is nowadays
yeah,
when we
yeah.
get older.
But as like a young adult, I think back, well, there's still people I know that get offended when you don't text them. Um, and like, I don't know, as a young adult, it's like, don't get me wrong, it's like kind of rude in a sense to like ignore somebody if you're like actively having a conversation or like if they need something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also we all need to lower our expectations because
Mm.
if you're texting me to hang out and I'm not available, well, I think it's a little different. Like if I just say, "Oh, like sorry, I can't," like that's one thing. If I don't answer, like maybe it's a little more rude, but you have to assume like I'm doing something else.
Yeah, like you don't take it personally. Like
Yeah,
you don't escalate it. You don't
yeah,
think like, oh, this person is ignoring me.
yeah.
It's just like
Because guilty pleasure. I love hanging out with somebody once and not seeing them again for a month. Because when you see somebody all the time, it's like you kind of run out of stuff to talk about most of the time with people.
it depends on the person. Yeah, for sure. Like I think there's some people where it's kind of
Yeah. Like
like
I know this guy named Alex, and I'm just imagining like hanging out with him every week. It would be like terrible.
motherfucker. We talked 2 hours before we even started recording today. Like, what are you talking
Did
about?
we?
Yeah,
Was it 2 hours really? Oh. Yeah, we did kind of get into a good yap today.
we did get into it.
But
Like,
okay, but you know what I mean though. Like
I do
there's
know what you
plenty
mean.
of people. I love the idea of like I'm thinking about so many people in my life right now where it's like I hang out with you once a month or once every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some people it's once every 6 months.
Yeah.
I have friends that like moved to the States that like grew up with us,
Mm-hmm.
and literally she texts me during Christmas time and she texts me in the summer once, like it's twice a year.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Do you want to hang out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's hang out."
Mm-hmm.
And we have a great fucking time. But then I also have people who like, you know, I mean, a lot of people just kind of drop you. They take the hint. I feel like we're kind of moving towards that as a society. But I have people that like
I hate that
have
though.
flipped on me because I don't text back, and it's like, well,
I hate that though because it's just kind of like I
mhm.
I feel like that didn't happen before. You know what like I think back of like
Are you saying like previous generations or
yeah
pre-COVID or what?
no previous generations because like I don't know I saw like a video and this is gonna get a little off topic about like it, this is the type of TikToks that I see. So
Okay, guys, grab your
yeah
pillow.
let's let's just brace this for a second. It was like this old couple and it was like oh they never had to grow up knowing what ghosting was. They never had to grow up like having
Mm,
the need to constantly like text someone. Like that
mm.
wasn't a problem before. I'm sure like they had similarities. So like
Yeah,
if you call them, they need to pick up multiple times. Like they would take the hint. But in
yeah.
no way did it become normalized for this to happen. Like, this is something that our generation has decided this is normal.
But it's also like,
Like I think that's fucked. No, like I think that's
but
crazy.
also you have to remember like our circles are so much bigger. Like, without sounding too much like a narcissist, if I gave everybody that I knew the time of day that they wanted from me, I wouldn't have enough time in the day because I don't know. But do you ever find, okay,
I
kind of
don't
off
think that's a
topic,
bad thing
but
though.
do you ever find it's like you'll be like doing nothing, you'll be chilling, you'll be minding your own business, you'll be fucking clipping your toenails, and like people don't text you, you're doing nothing all day, and then like something comes up, you're busy, and suddenly everybody you've ever known wants to talk to you in that exact moment.
It drives me fucking
Like, I don't know if there's just
crazy.
like a peak time or if it's like, people just want to talk at this point, but like I swear, like today, for example, like I had schoolwork to do, I had group meetings, like I wasn't doing nothing all day. But if somebody wanted to holler up, I was free. But my phone's dead. But then I know it's like tomorrow I'm gonna have a busy fucking day, and literally everybody that I've ever known is gonna be like, answer me right now, answer me right now. I need to know this.
That's Mondays for me. Mondays, I don't know what it is. Mondays, do you know what I think it is? Is because for school, how my school is set up with like our client is like we kind of like send emails out like first thing in the morning, and like Mondays we kind of do like that's when we send our like update for like our project and stuff like that. So like first thing I do is like I wake up and I send email to probably about 10 different people, and then like for example like school goes on, and then personal goes on, like stuff with like my family, and like they're texting, and then like for example like us coordinating today, like it's just Mondays are one of those communication days where I dread.
You dread it.
I dread.
Me earlier, I texted him at probably like 11 a.m. saying like, "Oh, we filmed today," and he didn't answer. So I at like 2 p.m. I just sent him like an angry face emoji.
and it's the same thing where I looked at it. I was like, "I'll respond to this later."
Yeah,
and then I just completely forgot. So thank God you texted.
Yeah,
thank God. Because you know, like sometimes like I just need that reminder. Because it was just one of those days where like my brain is all over the place.
I mean, I kind of get that, but then I also get annoyed when people. I don't know. It's like a personal thing I'm trying to work on. But low key, sometimes like if somebody texts me and I read it, I roll my eyes. And it's not even just like this person in particular is texting me, but it's just like now I have to answer this text because I feel like
it's a chore.
Texting feels like a chore. Like texting
for everybody or some people.
For me, I'm talking about me personally.
No,
like,
I'm talking like is there certain people that like?
I think it's like most people. If I'm in like a mood, like if it's okay, Monday you can text me, I'll talk. Any other day, if you text me Thursday to Sunday, I'm pissed that you're texting me.
Really?
I don't know, because I just feel like it's like, you know, I work, and then usually like after my like day of working, I have to do school work because you know that's student work balance. But then like Monday, I'm happy. Thursday to Sunday, the parasite takes over. The parasite's texting you back.
Do you think it'd be different if, like, say, for example, like I think that goes back to the like everyone feels like they since we're able to do that, we just have access to you 24/7. Do you think if, like, say you lived in an era where we didn't have that access to someone 24/7, you would have a different opinion on it?
I honestly think it's like,
because I feel like I'd be like, if it was me, like I would be like tweaking, because like I'm someone where like I hate having constant access to me from a social standpoint. But when I want to be social, I love having my phone with me.
Oh, don't get me wrong. After I post a little Instagram story on my private story, all the people that are liking it and texting me after, I eat up that attention.
Like that, no, I don't really care about that. It's like, for example, like if there's some days where I'm like, you know, it could be like at 7 o'clock on a random day, and I'll be like, oh, I want to hang out, like I want to get food. It's like I'm going for my phone. I'm calling people and being like, do you want to go get food? No, okay. Do you want to get food? No.
He has never called me and asked me to get food with him. How long? I've known you for what, like
this is a recent thing. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is because I've been riding solo. I called you to get pho the other day. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't call me. You texted me.
Same thing. I
no, it's not the same thing.
Calling or texting?
A text. Okay,
we're literally proving the point of the podcast right now.
Oh, wait, not too much. If you text me, it's kind of like it's a pondering thing. But if you call me, I feel special. If you text me,
it kind of. I'm not a caller. I don't.
But with plans, if you call me, it means like, oh, I want you here. But if you text me, it's like, well, I texted 8 people. Let's see who responds.
No, I could tell. I can show you.
Oh my God, am I a hypocrite?
Yeah, you are. You are being a hypocrite right now. You're actually proving a point. It's fucking crazy.
Okay.
It's
I like to talk, but so what? Everybody lies.
No,
everybody lies.
It's fine, but like, I'm just not a caller. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if I call you, it's an emergency. If I need a response like this moment. Say for example, if I texted you being like, oh, like, do you want to go get pho? And you didn't respond to me, I'm gonna continue my day. I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm calling you being like, Isaiah, we had plans at 7 o'clock and you're nowhere near, I'm calling you.
I think where I'm at, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna flip the script a little bit. I'm proud to be a hypocrite because if you call me, don't expect an answer. But if I call you, I expect you to answer.
Yeah, so that is being a hypocrite. Yep.
Okay, why don't we move on to the real juice? Because you know what, friendships aside, friendships suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I do value friendships.
I think I know where you're going with
But I
this.
think the juice of this is like, how does this apply to relationships?
Yeah.
Should we crack it open with dating apps? Because I feel like that's like the most pressing thing I think about when I think about like, relationships in 2025.
Yeah, so I guess for context, I have no experience of being on dating apps. Like I've never had an account. I've never had. Why are you looking at the camera like that?
Because
Why are you
I'm
looking
like
at the
I'm
camera
I'm a
like
little
that? The fuck
envious
was
of
that?
that, but we'll get into that. Finish your
Yeah,
spiel.
well, I'll make it short and sweet, and we'll open it up. It's like I haven't experienced that one because like I don't. That's not how I want to have a connection with someone when I think of like a partner. Not saying that doesn't work for everyone. I think it does like work for a lot of people, and I'm very happy for that. That's not what I want. It's just a personal choice. But I'm happy that that avenue is there for people.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna preface this by saying, I have been on like 4 or 5 dating apps at some point. I'm currently in a relationship with somebody that's, I mean, I hope it's going well. I think it's going pretty well.
Yeah, I would say you guys are
I think
going
it's
well.
going pretty well.
You guys are going well.
And it's been about a year, and like we're happy, but I also want to give the perspective of everything that led up to that event, because before I met him, I was on dating apps for like 4 years, something like that. And that shit actually sucked the soul out of my body.
I'm gonna add something to that.
Okay.
I've known Isaiah for a while. The relationship that he's in for the dating apps has given me hope for dating apps. That's what I'm gonna say in terms of like for a while, like if we were to have this conversation about a year ago, I'd be a lot more negative towards dating apps.
Yeah.
But Isaiah is, I think, a perfect, at least the relationship that you're in right now is a perfect example of why dating apps are good. I don't think I've said that to you either.
Stop! I'm gonna blush. I don't know. Should I like break up with it?
No. No. That is iffy.
No, but genuinely, it's like, okay, we do live in a world though where it's like, okay, wait, the philosophy of dating apps makes sense. It's like you're interested in having a relationship. You go on this app and you find other people that are interested in having a relationship. The philosophy of it. That makes sense. But I just think that the intentions of these people aren't always aligned. And I think as well, like the idea of dating apps has given people too much choice. Because think about it like this.
I 100% agree.
If you go... Okay, when I go to Costco, the Costco food court, they got 3 fucking things on their menu.
Yes,
hot dog, burger, pizza.
Yep.
I can make up my mind in 2 seconds.
Yep.
When I go to the Works, or like, I guess
any other restaurant,
and they have like a menu of like 30, 40 things, I don't know what the fuck I want. I have to look at the menu ahead of time because genuinely it's so confusing. There's so many variety, and I think dating apps have given us too much, like,
it's like consumerism,
it's
but
too
for
many
people.
picks.
Yeah.
Because then I think what happens is people are like, you get the ick. Like everyone talks about the ick, and don't get me wrong, I've gotten the ick, and I can give some stories about me getting the ick before, too. But like, everyone gets the ick so fast, and it makes me think like, out of all the people that a person will talk to on dating apps, if you would have just given them like one more chance, or like maybe looked past that one ick early on, maybe you would have, that could have been like your soulmate. Like you really don't know, because personally, I'd be awkward as fuck. I'm just glad I met somebody that's also awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
But
I think it just like the stars are probably aligned in that occasion. Like it could have gone the exact opposite way.
Yeah, because like one sentence, because there have been some times where people send me one sentence and it makes me block them.
And that's it. And I think that was my gripe about dating apps is like, one, I think it doesn't devalue someone as a person, but I think like there's some people that would be like the idea of just like looking at someone and moving on.
Yeah.
To me, that just feels awful. Like I don't want to think about it, because I feel like I'm someone where I'm getting to that point where like I don't need that validation from others. But that would fuck me up still. I think that someone just being able to look at me and go no, that would destroy me. I don't have the confidence for that.
Well, I mean, to like go against your point, like it's not like people do that to you.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like you're kind of rating your worth based off of like how attractive people find you.
You drive me crazy.
And that is very hurtful, because like, for example, like we have a mutual female friend who like she temporarily set up a dating profile, and me as somebody who's been on all the dating apps for years, like you know what, I was content with the amount of matches I was getting. Like it wasn't a numbers game,
Mm-hmm.
but for her, it was like literally within one night, it was more matches than the app would show. Like I think it was on Bumble, and I think they cap you out at like 99, and
Really?
then it's like it just after anything after 99, it just says 99 plus. And literally within one night, it was 99 plus. Meanwhile, me, I was like, I had maybe like 15, 16
I think
people
that's
sitting in there.
normal.
And I was
I would
like,
say that's a lot.
I was happy with that
I
until
think
I
that
got
would
the
be a
premium
lot.
and saw what was cooking in there. But
No, see, like that would fuck me up. And because like
yeah,
my thing about like relationships, and I think that also like what scared me about dating apps, and you kind of brushed on this, is that like I don't think you can make a judgment on someone so fast. Like
yeah,
the way that I see it is like I okay, we're just gonna get a bit personal. I think
okay.
I'm someone that from experience, not all previous experiences, but I think someone that I appreciate now and what I want is like kind of the friends get to know and then see if a relationship comes out of it. And I think with
That is definitely an ideal scenario.
and I think dating apps skips that, where like say for example when you become friends with someone you figure out if you're compatible with them. You're like,
Hmm.
oh, do I actually like this person? Are they friends? Are they cool? Do I mesh with them?
Yeah, yeah,
Dating apps, you kind of skip that. You go straight to the dating. I also don't know. I haven't been
yeah,
on a dating app, but it feels like you go straight to the dating. And then as you're figuring out what dating looks like, you're also figuring out what a friendship looks like.
right. Can I? Okay, that point that you just made is very important, and I wish I had the same luxury, but unfortunately, without crying about being gay,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Oh, for sure.
it's a
Different.
little different for me because
100%.
like I personally like I hated the game of playing like, oh, this person looked at me for 5 seconds. Are they gay? Like, do I have a chance?
Mm-hmm.
Versus like because most people are straight, where like
Mm-hmm.
you could probably like go to a bar and have you could probably like look at the girls there and be like, yeah, like I have a shot.
Mm.
Meanwhile, it's like that extra barrier.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like
Um,
it's the I don't want to say the pool,
the
but
pool is a little thinner.
yeah.
Um, and then like obviously in that pool of people that are gay, it's like then you have to go into the more specifics, like are they an appropriate age, like do they live close by,
Mm.
are they fugly? I mean
The
it's
most
important criteria.
important.
Well,
Yeah. No,
no,
it
it
is.
is
It
important,
is.
like you got to be attracted to your partner.
It is.
But no, like I think it's definitely important to know how you would be like with a person, because I think
Spend a lot of time with them.
you are going to spend a lot of time with your partner, and it's important to know what they are like as friends. But I think like when I was on dating apps, I would be willing if somebody was like showing enough interest, I would always go on at least a date.
Mm.
Because I agree, like you can't just like text somebody and just know like, oh, I want to be with this person, I don't want to be with this person.
Yeah, man.
There are a couple people that were a little crazy with me and they blew it before. Okay, the one that was a little bit shallow, but I was like, we were texting and like we had similar interests. And then I was at work one day, and like personally, I usually wake up like an hour before my shift, and then I just like go 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 go.
Mm.
I get ready, I get right into work. Like I'm not on my phone texting right in the morning.
Mm.
Like if you want a good morning text from me, you're probably not getting one, unfortunately. And I'm with somebody now that understands that. But this person, he texts me like in the morning, like good morning, blah 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 blah. Like this was before we even went on a date or anything. And then maybe at like noon, I like get another buzz. So I look at my phone and he's like, oh, so I guess you're just gonna ignore me. You got blocked.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You
Because
don't get to say that.
yeah, like on one hand you can call it shallow, but it's like truthfully, it was a little too much too soon. But also, if that matters to you, we're not going to be a good fit. And I think it's also important when you're talking to somebody, and I know everybody says this is going to sound just like so woke, but like really be yourself when you're dating and like on dating
It's
apps and
so
stuff.
important, man.
Because like if you're not yourself, what are you going to gain from that? Do you really want to be in like a fake relationship based on lies?
I think like my thing, and like I figured this out. I would say probably like a couple years ago. Like I wasn't always like this.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe it's bad mentality. I don't think
Yeah.
it's bad. I don't think it's harmful, but some might. Is like if you don't like me, bye. And like that's just not even with dating. That's just with like people in general. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like if you don't like me, bye. I know who I am. I know what my worth is. Like,
Yup.
um,
Yup.
that's just my philosophy with it. And I think if people were more like that, they would find more success.
Yeah. Because I think, like, our generation especially is always just trying to, like, I don't know, be somebody else or, like, act a certain type of way or, like, fucking social media ruined us, by the way.
Yeah, for
Like, seeing
100%.
everybody on social media, like, just talk about anything. Okay, Nara Smith, for example, do you know who that is?
No.
It's that girl on TikTok that's like, um, my husband was craving Oreos, so I chopped down a tree and
Oh, I
extracted
think
the
I have. I
oil
think
to
I've seen
make
people
some
make
homemade.
fun of her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
And
think I've
like,
seen
don't get
people
me
make fun
wrong,
of her.
no
Yeah.
hate to her game, but like, her and other influencers kind of like they make their lifestyle look so attractive that people want to emulate that, and then people aren't themselves because like if you are trying to emulate somebody else, or like I think about all those like beauty influencers and all those people
Mm.
that like it's like, oh, I don't know what's in my purse or room tour, and like they're like so perfectly constructed and all this,
It's not
and it's like
reality.
if you're trying to portray that on your dating profile, and then I meet you and you can't even pick up your underwear from the washroom floor, it's like there's gonna be a disconnect.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you should represent yourself as you are, because do you
Yeah.
want to be with somebody? Okay, because here's my philosophy on it. I always actually I come on pretty strong on a first date. And I know that sounds like,
See, I feel like I'd be so fucking weak.
yeah, but it's like I'd rather us have a first date and like um it just go very poorly and to like never speak to this person again than like
To tease anything.
than to tease everything and be like so shy and like cutesy, and then we're dating for like a year and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we actually hate each other. Like I'd
Okay,
rather,
that's smart. Yeah, that's
because
valid.
I've been on so many first dates with people or like talking stages with people where it's just like at some point either myself or this other person just loses interest, it's done, wipe your hands clean, gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I would way prefer that than like being strung along.
Mm.
So you know what, like I'm confident to say like I'm in my first relationship now, like
Mm-hmm.
official relationship. um and I think it's because we both understand, like we were both came into it being ourselves, and like I'm not gonna tell you the details because honestly, for anybody other than us, it's gonna sound really fucking cringe. But like
Yeah.
we were both just like our dumb selves on our like first second date,
Yeah.
and I think it was like, okay, this is who I'm with, versus like you know,
I still gotta
like
figure it
okay,
out.
wait, would you ever fart in front of your partner?
Well, like not right away, but like pretty. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
think
of
I
course,
think it's one of
of
those things.
course. Like first few dates, you
You,
get grace.
yeah, yeah, no, like it's kind of like a polite thing, but then I'm sorry, like once you're like comfortable, or like once like the first one flies,
Hmm.
free game.
See, I was on this. I don't know why I was here. I was in some deep dark hole, but I was in this like Reddit thread of just like older people. And when I say older, I'm talking like people in their 30s to their 50s, I presume.
Mm.
And they're like, it's Joe Schmo being like, um, "Oh, I've never farted in front of my wife. You can't fart in front of a lady."
No, I grew up in a household where farts were funny. Like I'm sorry, it, like what? You're laughing at that motherfucker? Like,
Well, okay, wait. Can we talk about that for a second? What do you mean farts were funny? Like would you would you guys just be sitting at dinner and you're like, oh, let's put something on, and you're like, what?
no, like I don't know, like like I don't know how to describe it without making my family sound like absolute white trash.
Okay, wait, we can spare you. We can
No,
move
no, no,
on.
no, no.
We can give
Like
just a tease.
I would just like I don't know, like for example, like farts would just be funny. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like whether if it was like an actual fart movie, TV, like farts were just funny. It
Mm.
was never something to be like gross or like like
I think
I
in
don't get
my
like if someone farts in front of me, I'm not gonna be like fucking weirdo. That's gross.
yeah.
I'm just gonna be like you farted. Like
I think it's more of like I kind of grew up in a like a, oh, you farted, that's gross, move on. Like we don't dwell on
no,
it, but
no,
it's like we kind of make fun of you. Because my house was
no,
very
it's not
like
like
you
that.
act out, you get made fun of, but not in like a hurtful like you're banished kind of way.
No.
Um,
Well, like no, like for example, like say for example, if we're all like watching a movie and like when someone farts and like you're trying to figure out who farted, like
mm,
it's we have fun for 5 minutes trying to like play like fucking Sherlock Holmes, you know? Like
How often was it you?
not often, to be honest. I wasn't the biggest culprit. Why are you looking at me like that, motherfucker?
Well, I'm just trying to guess who was, and I think I know, but I won't say it out loud for respect for your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my house, would I be the biggest farter? I don't know.
But like we just grew
Maybe.
up. We just grew up in that household.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
for
okay.
me, for example, like as weird as it sounds, like I'm sorry if you don't fart in front of me. Like once we're in a certain point of relationship, I'm just kind of like that's weird.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like just
Yeah.
fart.
Well, definitely don't like rip ass right in my face.
Oh no, yeah,
But,
don't
like,
give me fucking pink
you know.
eye. But like like if you walk by and you let a fart out, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like fucking nasty.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's like, you know what? The fart, let's call it Fartgate. Fartgate is like vulnerability. That represents vulnerability that's important for any relationship.
I 100% agree.
Because like
100%.
I don't know. I just don't think like you should really hide things from your partner. Like, don't get me wrong. I kind of have a philosophy is like ignorance is bliss, and like
I have a
I
question
don't.
after.
Okay.
No, keep going.
I don't need to like tell you literally like every single thing that I do, but like there shouldn't be like big secrets. Like I shouldn't be actively trying to hide everything. Like for example, I don't feel the need to show you everything in my camera roll, but if you feel like looking, I don't have anything to hide, so like go ahead. Like for example, my current partner like never has looked through like my camera roll, like just searching through it. He can if he wants, but it's like it's not like
There's
I'm
no
hiding
need.
anything.
Yeah, there's no need.
But like it's just weird. Like
Yeah,
I
I
don't want to
agree.
explain this like weird picture I took of myself at 15. But like if you want to look at it, go for it. But I think it's like you should have that trust in a person where it's like I know if I look through his camera roll, it's literally all just pictures of cats. It's pictures of his cat and his friend's cats, and it's like if you're scared about finding like some bitch's nudes in their phone, you probably shouldn't be dating that
I
person.
100% agree. I guess my question, I feel like you might have kind of touched on this, but like, do you think it's ever okay to lie?
I mean, it really depends on the context. Because
so what's
like
context ground for you? Like what's your line?
Okay.
What's your line?
Okay, for this scenario, I'm a straight man.
Okay.
Because I think if we let's say for example, I have a girlfriend. And
very straight man of you, yes.
And she's like, "Oh, like does this outfit look nice on me?" Even if it doesn't, you better tell her yes.
It's a trap, dude.
No, even if it does. And don't just be like
younger Alex learned the hard way.
Yeah, and don't just be like, "Yeah, it looks nice, babe." But be like, "Ooh, you look so good in that."
Yeah.
Even if it just looks fine. Even if honestly, because I know a lot of guys, they probably just won't even notice. But you just have to like, you have to lie like that. Like I think lies like that are fine.
There's like a dictionary.
Well, it's like
not a dictionary, but there's a playbook. Like you gotta like.
And I don't like actively try to lie. And if I do have any lies that I've like made, they're very like white lies. Like it's nothing that's like groundbreaking. Like because I think anything that's actually like important to your connection with this person, you shouldn't lie about. But I think white lies are pretty normal. Like people lie when they tell stories all the time. I lie when I tell stories. I think everybody does because you want it to sound interesting.
Yeah, like you
exaggerate. You exaggerate things. Like it's normal. And I think like that's natural. I think what's unnatural is like, fucking cheating. Like, you're lying about like texting other people, or like I see people that are like, okay, there was this one person I knew that like changed the name of somebody that he was like seeing to TD Bank. And it's like, why the fuck would a bank be calling you at 9 p.m.?
I just like I don't understand that. I don't get why people like one cheat like that, or two like
I also don't really get like the idea of cheating.
I don't get it.
And like there are some people that I don't know, because I've been chronically online, so I'm just like reading comment sections of like cheaters and stuff like that. And some people are defending them and they're like, well, I'm with somebody that I actually like now. And it's like, okay, but just like break up with that person, because I feel like cheating and trying to like have that secret is hard.
It's like
why would you want to do that? Because personally it's like, fuck, sometimes it feels like managing one relationship is a lot of work. So how do you have 4 bitches?
It's yeah, no, I agree. It's not even that for me. I think it's just like it just fucks with the person you're cheating with. Like
Oh yeah, that too.
I've just seen the ugly side of it like
Yeah,
multiple times where like people I've known they've been cheated on.
yeah, and it's also a shitty thing to do fundamentally.
It's brutal. But I don't get why people feel like they have to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a form, like it's manipulation and
Yeah.
lying.
But you know what it is? It's a numbers game. It all comes back to it being a numbers game, kind of like dating apps. Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, bro, like I have like 6 girls. Actually, that reminds me, I knew this guy that I worked with at my previous job, and one time, okay, so like I worked with them for a while, and where we worked, it was very slow all the time. So like we had
Yeah, I
time to
know who
like
you're
it was when
talking
I was
about.
working
Yeah, I
retail.
know who you're talking about.
So
Yeah.
like we could be on our phones, we could kind of chat. Like it wasn't like stressful work. So like he'd always be on his phone like texting some girls, and he'd be like, "Yo, bro, like look at this girl, like blah 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 blah," and like nice guy. Like I actually do like him. But one time he was like, "Bro, like I found out last night my girl was cheating, or like she was talking to some other guy, and I kicked her out of my car. I made her walk home."
Oh my
And I was like,
god.
"Are you
See, that's
serious?" Like,
so far from my life,
well,
dude.
I was like, "Are you serious? Like, you really did that?" And he was like, "Yeah, like I don't fuck around. Like, you if you're my girl, you can't be cheating on me like that." And I was like, "Okay, but like, aren't you talking to other girls? Like, literally last week, I asked you to count how many girls you're talking to, and you told me the number was in the 20s." And then he was like,
That's
"But that's
fucking.
different. Like, I can cheat. My girl can't fucking cheat though." And he like, he wasn't even making a joke. He was being serious.
That's
He was being
crazy.
serious, and like, I'm not trying
See,
to disrespect that
that's what's
guy.
the matter with this generation, though. Holy fuck! I hate that I just said that. Oh my god.
Oh, that's the matter with this
I
generation.
fucking hate that I said that.
You whippersnappers think
No.
you know everything.
But like I don't know. Like I just don't want to.
Your birthday's coming up, the big 2-5, and you're getting old now.
Yeah, I feel like I am getting fucking old the way because like I just
This generation.
no, but I hear people talk about it, and I'm like I can't be fucking asked to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I can't like.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, with dating apps, I like. There's just a lot of crazy things that happen on dating apps, but I feel like it just like diminishes your self worth, and I feel like going back to the whole numbers game thing is like, I swear there are people on dating apps that don't actually care about like being in a relationship. They just want to like
It's their
have
black.
matches.
It's their black book.
It's like the black book, and
Mhm.
also hookup culture. You know what?
I
Sometimes you have to meet your needs, and I can respect that. But like,
I think I'm too sensitive for that. I don't think I can ever
I'm
do a hookup culture. Like I'm sorry. Like at least for me, like I hope there's other people in this world that are like
yeah,
this.
but I feel like, okay, Tinder. What I've learned, here's my analysis. Tinder, that's for everybody. You're gonna find people that want to date. You're gonna find people that just want something else. You're gonna find bots that are trying to sell you on their multi-marketing plan.
Oh, there's pyramid schemes on Tinder.
Yes.
That's crazy.
But
What? It's like, oh, join my pyramid scheme. You want to smash?
I think Tinder is like you can reach the greatest number of people because so many people are on Tinder. Like that's definitely the most popular dating app. I think Bumble, in my opinion, is the best one, and I'm a little biased because that's where I met my partner. But also like other people I've talked to, because because there's people on Tinder that are just looking for friends. Usually they say it in their bio because they're nice, but like there's a lot of profiles that I've come into that are like,
I don't know how I feel about that.
just like, oh, moved to the city for the first time, I'm looking for friends.
Okay, no, that's fair. Okay, never mind. I take back my statement.
Which is like, yeah, that's fine.
Valid.
Like
Fair.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
swipe left because that's not what I'm looking for on this app, but
Yeah.
you're fine.
I wonder what their success rate is. Sorry,
But then
I'm
on
going off
Bumble,
topic.
for example, they have like Bumble BFF, where
It's
it's
for
like that's
friends.
literally just for friends, so it
That's
filters
kind
out
of
all those
cool.
people. That is cool. And then they
I don't
have,
think I would use it, but that's cool.
yeah, I think, um, I'm pretty sure for like straight people, Bumble date is like the girl's message first. which is like that's their whole like thing, because I think a lot of guys feel nervous about messaging first. Would you feel nervous about messaging first?
Yeah, one, I think for two reasons. Two, I think just in general, like approaching a girl first with the intention of like attraction or like wanting to start that type of like partnership. I don't know. I'm very cautious about that because I don't know if I have to explain more. I think it's the era that we're in where it's like any misstep is taken the wrong way. And I also and I also understand that there are just some guys that like overstep as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Can
a
I
very,
stop you for a second?
yeah, it's a
I
very,
respect that you're nervous about being respectful, but if I was a woman, I feel like I wouldn't be scared about the guy that has a coiffed and a cashmere sweater on. You know, like I think you're probably okay.
Yeah, I don't
want to speak on behalf of women because I don't know, but you're probably okay.
I think for me, like I just like I I see what what girls have to go through, and I just like,
yeah,
you know, like
you don't want to make them uncomfortable.
No,
which is good.
because it's fucking awful what they have to go through.
Yeah. Also, any women watching this, he's single.
No. No. We're not having that talk yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think I should get on dating apps? It's
Well,
like genuine opinion. And I'm not asking like as a blanket statement. You knowing me for how many years you've known me.
Okay. Do you want the short answer or the long answer?
We got time.
I think there's pros and cons to dating apps. Because what dating apps did for me is it let me go on like quite a few first dates, and it gave me a sense of what I wanted and what I didn't want.
See, but I have that from previous relationships.
You do have that. For me, it was a little bit different because like literally I haven't had any like romantic anything with anybody that was on a dating 100%. App. But it does give you a sense of like
what you want and
what you want.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it is very humbling to be on dating apps because, you know, you I don't think have put yourself on dating apps, so like
it would destroy me.
The thing with dating apps is
it would fuck
I feel like you hate to be perceived.
Yeah,
like you hate like
I like
the
having
idea.
I like having control over that.
Yeah, like you. The thing is, like, people could see your pictures and like, I don't know, you could have a picture of. I would hope that you wouldn't have a picture of you with a fish, but you could have a picture of you with a fish.
Okay.
Instantly swipe left. Because there are like pictures.
Well,
okay.
Because I don't get
personally that. If I see anybody that well, the person I'm dating had a fish in their profile picture.
What do you mean? Like they're just holding a fish? Like what?
Yeah, like if you're like in a boat and you're holding a fish.
Oh, like that. Oh,
if you're taking a picture like that, I'm swiping left.
My dumbass thought you're like the kid from Finding Nemo holding a fish in like a fucking bag, like you just got out of the pet store.
That would also probably make me swipe left. But then, okay, kind of quick side thing on Hinge. Do you know what Hinge is?
Yeah.
Do you know what like their whole thing is?
I don't know what their thing is, but Hinge is the one that I hear the most talked about. Hinge is
marketed. I think their whole slogan is like the dating app meant to be deleted, where it's like,
like you find your
the profiles are way more curated. Like it's actually a lot of work to make a profile. Like Tinder, you throw on 2 pictures, you write a bio in a second, you can have a profile. Anybody can have a profile. Hinge is like you have to have 6 pictures or videos. You have to have like prompts that are like pre-selected with answers to them. You have to have like all this minimum criteria. Like it probably takes like an hour. It is a lot of work, but that's the whole point. It's like it wants more meaningful connections. That's what it advertises.
Okay, interesting.
And then also like with Tinder, I think with all free accounts on dating apps, they give you like a maximum number of swipes for the day. And then like after you've swiped, I think on Tinder, I don't know, it's probably like 50 or something. I don't actually know.
It's a lot.
I've definitely hit it at some points, but you know, Tinder for me in my dark days, and I'm very ashamed to say this, it would be like I'm high as fuck at 1 a.m. and I'm just swiping like it's a video game.
See, I don't want to get to that point.
Yeah, no, very sad actually when you say it out loud, and I'm so ashamed to put this on the internet.
No, but everyone's fucking done that. Like, if you have a problem saying that shit, let's see your phone, fucking pussy.
Yeah,
let's see your let's see your phone.
But like with Hinge, I want to say, I don't remember, it's been a while, but I want to say it's like 5 matches per day or something. Like you can like 5 people. You can swipe as much as you want, like no on people.
What's the difference between swiping and liking and Hinge?
Well, sorry, you decline. Because
it's like a yes or no.
it's like a yes or no. It shows you
Okay.
this one
On Hinge.
profile, and it's like obviously there's more content on it on Hinge.
Yeah.
And like you can either click the little red X and it's no, I don't want this person, or you can click just a heart and it's like, then when you click a heart, you also send like an opening message with it. Oh, the other thing with Hinge
See, I don't got
is
game.
on the other ones, you just like their whole profile, and then if they like you back, you can text each other. But with Hinge, it's you like somebody, but you have to like a specific part of their profile. You have to either like a specific picture or a specific prompt.
Seems like way too much work.
It is a lot of work. And I don't know, like in my past, there was a couple people that I talked to on Hinge, and like I think the formula with Hinge isn't the problem. The problem I have with Hinge is all the hotties are hidden behind because if you get a lot of likes, they put you in a different section called the standout section.
Oh, you get fucking algorithms?
There's an algorithm. So then you go to the standout section and you have to pay to send messages to these people. And you go there and it's fucking baddies.
What the fuck?
It is baddies in that standout section. You're looking and you're fucking drooling. And you go back to your homepage. And these people, I would say the people on Hinge are the prettiest. But still, like, you're looking at this and you're like, fuck, like, I just want to message this person, but I don't want to pay your like $14 rose to send the messages. I don't know if it's $14. I'm making that up. I never bought it. But I feel like it's like,
fuck.
You know, you spending money just to shoot your shot is kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
Dude,
people surely spend over like have gone into financial troubles on
I
it.
will say I never bought the Bumble stuff and I never bought the Hinge stuff. I did at one point buy the Tinder things.
That's a subscription though, no?
It's a subscription, but I would buy it for 1 month and cancel it. Because on Tinder, at one point I had like 100 matches.
Okay.
Well, this was after like quite a couple. Like this was a long time on the app. It wasn't just like I just got it overnight. I'm not that cute. But I wanted to see who these 100 matches are, obviously, because you're like, damn, 100 people are into me. Like, I want to see it. So then you buy it, and I want to say, okay, the first time I bought it is when I was like 18, 19. I didn't have 100 in there. Nice.
God, I'm so happy that's on camera.
I didn't have 100 in there, but I maybe had like 30 or 40, and I wanted to see like who was in there. And when I saw that, I was going through it. I think I messaged maybe like 2 or 3 people from that.
Like you can almost like go back in time.
Well, no, it's like when you buy it, you're able to see everybody that liked you, and then you're able to like look through all of their profiles and either swipe right or swipe left. So then
catalog.
It's like a catalog of people that want you.
See, that's
which is kind of crazy, right?
Fuck me up, dude.
Which is kind of crazy.
No, that would fuck
and that's
me
where
up.
it becomes a numbers game, because then I would
can't
like
do that, man.
I would keep going through those profiles and be like, well, like first I would do a skim and I'd be like, okay,
did you see
who
people
are the
that
people
you knew from, like in the area? Did you ever get people that you know?
I have, but not a lot. And the ones that I did, I can tell you the names of them after.
Yeah.
But it's like we already knew each other.
So you kind of like message each other, being like, haha, lol.
Well, one of them, I think maybe could have grown into something, but then I kind of like, it wasn't actually going that far, but then myself, I just kind of stopped messaging, but it wasn't because of this person. I think I was just in an era where I was like, fuck, I hate dating apps.
Yeah.
Because that would happen a lot, because you'd be on them for like, you know, a month, making an honest, good effort. And then you get like no dates, or you get like one bad date and you're like, gross. Because what would often happen to me is there'd be this like repetitive cycle of like, oh, I'm like, I'm messaging this many people. Oh, I have a date. Maybe I have 2 dates. And I go on dates with these people. And then after the fact, it's like, it doesn't go well, or like I get ghosted, or I just think that person's not great and ghost them. And then I want like a break. So then I delete everything.
Do you think people lower their standards on dating apps? Like, say for example, if they've been on them for a while, their standard just gets lower progressively.
Yeah. And I think also never smoke the ganja and go on a dating app, because I would wake up and have these people messaging me and go crazy. I'd be like, when did this happen?
Really?
Yeah.
See, like that, like, how would I describe it?
I think there are people that have done it with me too, because there have been times where I'm like late night messaging a person,
And you think it's going like
and I
well?
think it's going well, and I'm excited. I wake up with a new like lease on life, and I wake up in the morning, and then that person's gone, which means they've like removed me.
That would kill. That would ruin my day.
Right?
I couldn't do that. I think the only time that you would ever catch me on a dating app, like if anyone ever sees me on a dating app, it's on AirPlay, it's on the TV, and everyone is around me. That's the only time you'll catch me on a dating app. So if anyone sees me on a dating app, just know it's not just me. There's an audience.
But they're not that bad. Oh, also I love playing Tinder.
Like yeah, like to me
Like
that's
other people's Tinders.
that
If it's
fun is
mine, I'm sensitive.
no.
Y'all can't play.
I love going on dating apps for other people. It is
Yeah,
so fucking fun to look at,
it
to
is
look
so
at the
fun.
people's accounts. Like
Um,
I will never do it though. But
okay, but being on a dating app isn't actually that bad. Well, there's like bad parts to it,
I don't think I'd be able to do
but
it.
you just it kind of thickens your skin a little bit, because I did notice a shift with myself where like at the beginning I was way more sensitive to things, but then you kind of like, again, through experience of like trying dates with these people or texting these people, and you're like, ooh, like this is not what I'm into. Like it kind of lets you explore with a greater number of people with less consequence. Because the other thing with your thing about like how you can date people, but you're friends with them first. Like you like to see how it blossoms, and that is valid and that is true, and that does lead for a meaningful connection.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just kind of want to like test the waters without that like high commitment, because for all of these people, if you're saying that you like to be friends first and then have a growth relationship, like that does have risks, because if it doesn't go well, you probably lose the friendship. Versus like a dating app where you can like go on a date with somebody, and then hey, if it goes cool, maybe you go on another date. If it doesn't go cool, you never have to see them again. No consequence.
Maybe I think I have a different view on life because I think like say for example if someone
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work out, whether it's like a fin
Yeah.
friendship to a fin relationship, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's always still good to be pulled out of it, or
Mm-hmm.
there's still like lessons. So like say for example if it doesn't work out, and like this is gonna sound so fucking cheesy what I'm about to say, the way that I see it's like one step closer.
What?
Like you're one step closer to finding the right person. Because like for me it's
Okay.
like I'm like when I date someone, like my intention is like this is it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if I'm not gonna date someone if I don't see a future, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's like going on a date or two. Because like, okay, the amount of dates that I've been on that are like, hey, like nice to meet you, you get to know each other a little bit. And like I'm very like,
Have you ever
honestly, unless I start to get drunk, which is not good for my mental health, um, I usually approach the first date very platonically.
mm,
Like, I'm not trying to do anything nefarious. I'm not
mm,
trying to do anything spontaneous. Um, and a lot of people say like the dinner date is bad, but because they're like, oh, like what if you run out of things to talk about? What if it's awkward? But like personally, if I can't hold like an hour long conversation with you, why would I want something further? Now I have done dinner dates. I've done other dates. Um, I think the funniest first date I probably went on was like we went to a club together.
oh
Um, which honestly, it was a gay club. There was Lady Gaga playing. We had a great time. It earned him a second date. But then on the second date, when I sobered up, I went, oh, maybe this isn't the best idea.
have you I was about to say, have you ever like left a date early? Like have you ever been on a first date being like, this
No,
is so fucking terrible, get me the fuck out of here?
no, I haven't had one that's like so bad that I'm like, I have to go. Because again, like, because I think it's so platonically, like, there was some, okay, for example, there was one date I went on, and it was like, we went to a restaurant, the food was fine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I was interested in continuing the date, I would have, because then I would have been like, oh, like, let's go on a romantic walk down the beach, something dumb and cheesy like that.
Yeah.
But then with this one, I was like, well, thanks for dinner, like, bye. Like I didn't end it early, but I didn't extend it,
Mm-hmm.
because we originally agreed to dinner, and we had dinner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Case closed.
Yeah.
But I think what gave me the ick with
So you
him.
never continue dates even if it was a good date?
What?
Like say for example you have dinner and you're like, oh, this is going really well.
Oh,
You
I am a
never
hopeless romantic at my core.
Yeah, okay, so
If
am
I
I.
think the date went well, like, yeah, I'm doing the whole like texting you when I get home, like,
Oh, I'm the
you
okay. I'm
know,
glad we're because I'm the exact same. Where it's like if like
yeah, yeah.
like if I'm like have those
Yeah.
feelings towards someone, like it's game.
No, like, but I'm also not Delulu. So like,
I think I'm a little delulu
I'm not
sometimes.
Delulu because like,
What do you mean by
I have been
delulu?
Delulu,
What do you mean
where
by
like
define
just
delulu?
expecting like not taking the hint, because
Oh, okay. I'm not that delulu. No,
at
no, 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 no.
on the first like couple dates, I was a little Delulu. Like the first time I was dating people,
Yeah.
because I think the first
Like you could
ever
catch
date,
a hint.
yeah, I can catch a hint now,
Okay.
take a hint now. But the first ever date I went on, um, okay, the first ever date I went on, honestly, it didn't go well.
Yeah. Well,
um, without giving you too much, he was fighting for his life in a bathroom at Tim Hortons for an hour, and then I just drove him home. But what's crazier about that is a month later of like barely talking, agreed to a second date.
I think I remember this guy.
Yeah, and then the second date also didn't go very well. But then after that, I was like, maybe I want another one. Maybe I don't know. But then
I remember this era,
like
Vezir.
that was very like
I
weird. But I
remember
think
this
also
era.
like that was the first ever person I went on a date with. So I was like, oh, maybe this is normal. But then that one didn't work well, which thank God for. And then I went on a couple more, and a couple more, and then like by the end of it, it was very much like, okay, so I've had people that ghost me, and like I can take a hint if you don't text me, and if I had somebody that I was interested in, and I thought it was going well because we went on 2 dates, and then after the second date, we were kind of talking more, and then I was like, hey, like I had a really great time, like let's set up another date,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get ghosted. But then a couple days later, he texts me. He's like, sorry, like I'm not really interested, and that's fair.
I think that's a respectful thing to do. I don't like ghosting. I'm not a fan of ghosting.
Okay, I have mixed opinions on ghosting because I think it's a kind thing to do to answer, but some people deserve to be ghosted.
Okay, that's valid. If you're a piece of shit, I think it's fair game. Saying
But
saying that
okay,
though, I think
yeah,
in most cases, at least for me, I have a rule of life, and I call it the kindergarten rule: treat others the way you want to be treated.
I think that's literally called the golden rule.
Is it?
Yes,
Oh,
that's like a very known thing. It's called the
yeah.
golden rule.
That's my thing. It's like that's and so like I'm someone where like I would want like you know what, if it's not working, just tell me. Because at
Yeah.
least the way that my brain operates is like, for example, like again, like if I think that there's something there, like a hopeless romantic, so it's better cut the cord, tell me there's no confusion, I can accept that.
I mean, my threshold is like, if we're just talking on dating apps or just texting, and you ghost me or I ghost you, I don't think that person owes the other an explanation, because I feel like if you haven't been on a date with this person, it's like what you probably text each other for like 3 days, and one person got bored.
Yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, I
Like
guess you're right. I wouldn't take it
I
personally.
had a lot of those where it was like, okay, like whatever. I
couple
guess
texts
I'm not your
sent,
cup
and you're
of
just
tea.
not feeling it.
Yeah.
See, that I get.
If we went on like a date or two, I think it goes either way, because
No,
okay,
if you went on a date or two, and you don't, and it doesn't work out, I would expect it to.
Because there's this one guy where like I went on 2 dates with him, and then after the second date, neither of us texted each other.
Yeah.
And you know what? I like to think of that as like a mutual agreement that neither of us were feeling it. I never reached out to you. You never reached out to me. Like, it's one thing if one of us reached out to the other and the other didn't respond.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, it was radio silence. And I kind of like sat with that for a week, and I was like, okay, that's probably for the best.
How was that week though?
It was fine. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Right.
It's one thing though, because like obviously I wasn't that interested in him either, or else I would have texted him. But I wasn't that interested. Since like he wasn't that interested, we dropped it. Hadn't even thought about him really. But then like there was one where low key I sent a couple messages because I was hurt. I was really thinking this was bae, because let me tell you what happened. We met at a dance club, and that's where you meet the love of your life. Obviously, we met at a dance club, and it was very. I don't want to be disgusting, but we had a great time that night. And after that night, I was getting into my Uber, and he's like, listen, I need to see you again. Like, stopped me, and it was like, he got my Snapchat, and he's like, oh wait, but I don't go on Snapchat that much. Like, what's your Instagram? I give him my Instagram too. He puts it in his phone, like, he follows me on it instantly. And he's like, just give me your phone number too, just to be sure. And then, like, I give him my phone number. So he has 3 ways of contacting
Don't tell me
me.
he ghosts you. I can't take that if he ghosts you.
3 ways of
Does
contacting
he ghost
me.
you?
Let me get into it. Then a Snapchat. I sent a Snapchat the next morning when I wake up, when I come to, and I gather myself. And because I thought this was going really well.
Did you like?
I sent my best form of Snapchat.
I was going to say it wasn't no normal
Oh,
Snapchat.
it was like I got myself to my best level of myself, and
Did you
I
shower?
think also I showered and everything. And I think I sent a picture like, at this point I was going to the gym, so I think I sent like a gym selfie. Like I was.
Oh my god!
And
I
then
can't take this story.
yeah, and then he answered that one and said like, okay, so I'm gonna admit I love insult flirting. So he was like, you go to the gym, I can't believe that. And for some reason, I loved it. And then I texted him back. I don't remember my exact response.
Someone said that to me. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
And then,
get the fuck out of
like,
here.
radio silence after that on Snapchat. And at this point,
that would ruin
I was
me.
young and dumb, and I was checking the Snap score. I don't do that anymore, but at that point in my life, I was checking Snap scores.
Everyone check the Snap score every now and then.
And like,
you're denying
then
yourself if you haven't.
Didn't answer. So I sent him a little Instagram message, just to be like, hey, like, how are you? Like, sort of conversation.
Yeah.
Didn't answer. And I was like, that's weird. So I wait a couple days, and then I text, like, over the phone, like, his phone number, because I had that too. And I was like, hey, like, how's it going? Like, I want to see you again. No answer.
Have you ever heard nothing?
I mean, we still have each other on Instagram, and he has posted stories. I think the one thing that pissed me off is a couple weeks after our run-in, like, where we met initially, again, without responding to my Snapchat or even opening it. Like, if he opened it, it's one thing, but, like, didn't open it. He posted a story with another guy at the same bar, and I was like, oh, well,
that's just his thing.
Yeah, just his thing. But I was like,
so that closed the book, though. Then
that did close the book, but I was like,
it hurt.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what? If it was just confined to a one-night thing, that one kind of got me a little bit, only because it was like we hit it off right away.
Yeah.
And, like, same sense of humor. And then right after that, it was like, okay, if he just been like, all right, have a good night, sick, I'm cool. But it's the fact that you asked for 3 ways to get in touch.
If that ever happened to me, I'd be like, fuck. I would.
Mm-hmm.
I would have the same reaction as you, probably. Like,
yeah. Okay, we're getting kind of close to the end. So should we do our hot takes?
Yeah, we can do.
Our weekly hot takes. Like, what?
Let me
what do we hate? What do you hate, Alex? What's your vibe? What are you thinking?
Okay, we might get a little messy with this one. The pressure to be everything for your partner.
No. Personally,
yeah, I was about to say, do you want to open off this, or
personally, I cannot do that shit, because here's what I'm thinking about. I think there's a lot of things you can do in a relationship that leads to resentment, and, like, I think it goes both ways. For example, like, if I'm working a job and I work all day and I come home and my partner's not working all day, and, like, I'm like, oh, hi, honey, I'm home, and they're like, you need to do the dishes. That's personally gonna piss me off.
Yeah.
But then also on the flip side, if I was like a stay-at-home husband or whatever, and my partner was like, oh, like, I don't want to do my laundry. Like, do my laundry. Like, you don't work all day.
Mm-hmm.
That would also piss me off. So I see both sides of it. But I think that's why, like, for me personally, like, everybody needs something in their life. Like, you cannot have a life that's revolving around your partner. Like, if you're sitting there waiting for your partner to come home all day, like, come on.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, like, I think my issue with it is, like, I'm a very servant person. I like to.
Do you serve?
No, sorry, I guess I came from a religious context of, like,
okay,
you feel like you constantly have to, like, help others, be there for others, be that person for other people, not just in a partnership, but also just, like, with friends, or even, like, people that, like, you just met. Like, I give people my time, I feel like, a lot sometimes. Um, and so like I have a hard time with this in previous relationships where it'd be like I would feed into it, if that makes sense. And the other way where it's like I would be the other person's everything, and then it's just kind of like I fed into it, which grew it more, and then it was hard to like I guess kind of like step back from that once I kind of realized what was happening, if that makes sense. Because like for me, I agree with you where I'm very much like I think we have the same stance of like being in a relationship where it's like there's just some days where it's like I want to be by myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's totally fine and totally healthy. But that doesn't work in a situation where your partner is the opposite of that.
No, that is so valid because like I don't know. There are some times where I'm just mad and I can't explain why.
Yeah, and you just want to and you
Yeah.
that would happen to me all the time where it's like I'm just not in a good mood.
Yeah.
Let me be by myself.
Normalize.
You don't want
Normalize being bitchy for a day.
Yeah, just like let me go
Yeah.
be a troll. I'll be in my room. No, I'm being so for real. Like if I'm in a bad mood, like no, I don't want people to hang out with me. Like I don't want to bring people's mood down. Just let
But
me.
that's not like normal. Like I feel like again, like our generation is very like, you know, you have to put up this prim and proper image of yourself all the time.
It's not realistic. I think it's the social media aspect of it. Of like, do you know the saying like if he would, he could. I hate that shit. I hate that shit.
Okay.
I had someone. I had a coworker say that to me, where it's like, where like I told them like one of my plans of my previous relationship, and then like she made the comment being like, oh like, if he would, he could type thing. Like you're.
I mean, if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, whatever the fuck the saying is.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got upset. I snapped back at her for saying that. I don't know what irked me because I normally don't snap back at people. I was just kind of like, I'm like, I don't like that saying. And she goes, what? Like she was like, I was complimenting you. I was like, no, I just think that sets an unrealistic expectation on like your partner.
Okay, well, wait. Not to disagree with you, but I feel like you're kind of like interpreting that differently than how it's meant. Because like, if he wanted to, he would. Just shows like, if this person wanted to show effort, they would.
I think it was okay. Sorry, I guess to provide more context, it was kind of like, for example, like I did like it was like an anniversary, and I did like the very like Instagram plan of like playbook of like what an anniversary would be. Like for example, like
well, give me ideas. Mine's next week.
So like I did like an activity in like for example like Toronto. It was like a newer activity, something that's like very trendy. Like for example, like we did like the carpet guns. Like do you know when you you make your carpet and it's like the wool guns and you.
Oh.
So I did like something where I was like it was very trendy. You could post it, take a picture, social media, all that. Right?
Was that a consideration for you when you were?
It's not a consideration when you've planned stuff.
For social media, no.
Oh, I do. That's not well because I also like I kind of like maybe it's because I date females.
Oh, okay. So it's because I'm gay and I'm wrong. Okay.
No.
No, I'm joking.
That came out wrong.
I'm joking.
I know, but like I don't know. I just think it was like, for example, like in that relationship, it made sense because at the time, my partner was very much like online.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, and like she's showing me being like, oh, this is cool, like all this stuff, like, and like showing me like couples go on these dates.
Oh, okay.
Where they do it. So I'm kind of like,
yeah.
Oh, like you know, trendy
yeah.
social. She can post it. She can kind of like live that social media experience.
Okay.
Right, and then it's like, for example, and then after you go to like a nice restaurant, again, trendy place, you can post it online, whatever, all that shit. So I think that's what it was. Is that it was very social media.
Did you have fun though?
Yeah, I had fun.
Okay.
Like I can't remember where we ate dinner. I couldn't tell you. The carpet thing was cool. Like I would do that again. Like I actually had fun with it. It was in a cool area of the city, but like I don't know. It's one of those things though where.
But like it being trendy and like Instagrammable, was that your primary motivator?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't my primary motivator. It was like kind of like it was kind of. Do you know when you have an idea and you're like, oh, this is a bang idea. It's not just like this idea works.
Okay.
Like, do you know when you think of a gift, and you're like, okay, like this is a good gift. I'm gonna get this gift for someone for Christmas. But then next year you have this idea where you're like, oh fuck, this is a really good gift. Like I need to get this for this person.
Okay.
Do you see the two differences there?
I don't know. Let's ask the audience.
Acceptance above and beyond.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about like a B idea or an A plus idea.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought this was like kind of like an A plus idea.
Okay, sure.
Just based on like my partner and stuff like that at that time.
Where were we going with this?
I have no idea. I don't know how we got here. I actually have no idea how
I
we
guess
got
we're
here.
just yapping. We're just straight yapping.
I think we were talking about like the being.
Oh, being dependent on your partner. Is that what we were talking about? Or like,
yeah, but I don't even
like having your whole partner, like your partner's life revolve around you. That's what we're talking
but
about, right?
how the fuck do we get to making carpets?
Because I think, oh, I don't fucking know. Let's move on. Do you want to? Do you want to know what I'm thinking about right now?
What?
Oh fuck. What was it? Sorry, this wine's hitting. Can I see the note? We have notes. Okay, it's okay. It's fine. We're not perfect.
We're not perfect.
Oh yes, toxic positivity. Okay, I feel like another thing with relationships is like feeling the need to always be like 100%. And we kind of touched on it before, but like, you know, I'm a sensitive man.
So am
I am a sassy man.
I'm not sassy. Am I sassy?
You can be, but you're not traditional sassy. Like you don't own your sassiness. It's like you're accidentally sassy. Like I'm thinking about that one time when, okay, can I air you out a little bit?
Yeah, you can air me out.
We were in the mall.
I know this story.
We were just walking into a store. The store's not even important where we were walking to. And there's a little kiosk selling like skincare products. And this man, you know, Alex and I are walking next to each other. And
oh my God.
This man just like stops Alex in particular and is like, yo, buddy, let me fix your skin. And Alex and me like, no. Just like keeps walking, like, and he was so sassy with it. And honestly,
what
for
a
me,
fucking rude statement by him.
no, like that was kind of crazy of that man to do. But for me, that was so funny because I was like, you ate him up. Because then you just like you're walking so fast and like angry, and I was like,
pissed,
you strutted away. I was like, damn,
I was fucking pissed.
that was real good for me. That was good juice. But yeah, you're like accidentally sassy. But anyways, back to it. Like I'm kind of sassy, and there are some times where I'm just mad for like no reason. But I think it's important to be like honest with the person you're with. And like I'm even thinking, okay,
like just solid open communication.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So, you know, Valentine's Day, we had a great Valentine's Day. But on the drive back, truly, I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing that he did that like pissed me off. But for some reason, I was just fucking pissed.
I have those days.
And then like the car ride back from where we came, it was like maybe like 30-40 minutes. I just wasn't really talking that much, but I wasn't like being mean or rude, because I don't ever encourage like being rude to your partner. But they're like, I think it's important to be like, I'm just not in a good mood right now.
Yeah.
And then what ended up happening is this was the day before the really big blizzard in Ontario. And I stopped at 5 stores on the way home to get like road salt, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get ahead of it. Every store is sold out in the area.
Yeah.
Every single store. I stopped at gas station, department stores, fucking Walmart, everything. They're all sold out. And I don't know why, because I was already pissed. I was so angry.
Yeah.
At a pin drop, I would have fucking screamed at somebody.
Yeah.
And then to put the cherry on top, we pull into my driveway, and I parked too close to my garage, and I was just pissed. I was like, fuck it, I'll fix it later. So then I like open my garage door, and it takes my license plate off.
Oh no.
And like then he's sitting there and he's like, oh, what happened? Are you okay? And like trying to like help me.
Yeah.
And I look at him cold face, you need to leave. Like
that's crazy.
And I was like, I'm sorry, like I'm just really angry right now. Like, you just need to go.
Yeah.
And he understood that, and we're fine. It didn't start a fight, it didn't start anything.
Wow.
But he was able to recognize that like it had nothing to do with him. And I think most people just have emotions. But I think where relationships get messy is like people don't have emotional intelligence. Like they're not able to recognize their emotions. They're not able to like communicate their emotions.
Yeah.
Because personally, like I would 100% of the time, even just as friends, if you're in a bad mood, tell me you're in a bad mood, and move on. Because
Mhm.
I have times where like I've been in a bad mood, but then I've had like plans with friends, and then they like force me to the house, and then I'm just grumpy the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
But like if
Yeah.
you just accepted it when I said, "Hey, I'm like emo right now,"
Yeah. I think that's
we
so
would have moved
normal and
on.
healthy. It's like I think it's like
Yeah.
because like I've done that as well. Where like I guess I've had the opposite reaction where I'm just like, oh, I want to be by myself. Like it's
Yeah.
just one of those days. Like let me just
Yeah.
soak, be myself.
You want to soak?
Not. S-
Oh, Alex soaks, guys. Is that the sound you make after you soak?
Jesus Christ. I don't even remember. Oh yeah. Sorry, you just flustered me.
Yeah, you got flustered after soaking.
Fucking tea's ready, like.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Remember at the beginning when we were talking about like noticing things about people and that's all you can think about?
Yeah.
Now I'm just a tea kettle. It's the pot calling the kettle black. That's all I'm gonna say.
I never brought color into it.
Neither did I.
Yes, you did. You just said no.
The pot calling the kettle black. Have you never heard of that expression?
No.
It's like me saying that you also have a funny laugh.
Oh, I did bring color into it then, eh?
You did. Should we wrap up?
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks so much for listening to yet another podcast, and I hope you enjoyed us yapping